Good evening. I'd like to tell you a story about a couple who reached the American dream in 2007. They retired. They did everything they were supposed to do. They had a house that they paid off, about a $400,000 house. They had $1 million sitting in their 401k, and they were getting Social Security, and so life was good. So let's fast forward to 2009. That same couple now had a house that was worth $200,000. Their 401k was down to about $500,000, and they were in total panic. So what happened? They did everything they were supposed to do. And what I will tell you is that financial planning, the way it's taught today and the way it's utilized today, doesn't work, and they are a prime example of that. Hello, my name is Mike Bass. I'm a financial planner, and I have an office here in Altamont Springs, and I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm a certified investment management analyst. I've been in business quite a long time, and I got in this business because I was intrigued by the whole financial planning concept. Most people get in this business, they're interested in becoming investment advisors or they're life insurance salesmen, one or the other. I was intrigued by the whole concept of helping people navigate through the whole issue of financial planning and how to create the wealth they need to live the life they want to in the future. So I became licensed in this business and going through the educational process, and then actually becoming a financial planner and meeting with clients. What I realized is that this is primarily a sales business, and that most of the people in this business were selling products. And they really weren't doing a comprehensive job of helping clients put financial planning together. Financial planning, unfortunately, when it's implemented the way it's taught in today's world, is really a concept of accumulating wealth and then amassing enough wealth on the table, basically, metaphorically speaking, the table, that you would have enough money to live off for the rest of your life. There used to be a company called ING years ago that had a perfect commercial for this. And what they showed was they were asking people what their number was. And what they were asking people is how much money did they need to have to be able to retire so that they could comfortably live off the income of that. And I love that. I love that whole concept of what they were doing because it was so wrong. And just by the example of what I gave you, the people in the beginning, trying to put money on a table, metaphorically on the table, and mounting up an amount of wealth, and thinking you're going to live off the income for that for the rest of your life usually doesn't work. And we're going to show you why that doesn't work. There's three main entities you have to be aware of that really prevents you from accumulating the type of wealth that most people want to accumulate. And strangely enough, it's the financial services industry itself. It's corporations that you buy products from, and it's also the government. Now, we need all three of those entities, but all three of those entities, in doing what they do, create roadblocks to stop you from creating the kind of wealth you need to create. And we talk about how to deal with those as we go forward here. What I want to start with tonight is what we call the circle of knowledge. So if you will let this circle represent all the knowledge that exists in the world. Fair enough? So there's parts of this circle of all the knowledge of the universe that you know to be true. You know your name. You know where you are. You know what you do for a living. You know the name of your mother and your father. There's things that you know that you know. Is that fair? And then there's things you know you don't know. Like for me, I know I can't do brain surgery. You don't want me doing brain surgery. Fair enough? So, and unfortunately, I can't fly an airplane. I'd love to be able to fly an airplane, but you don't want me at the helm of an airplane because I don't know how to fly an airplane. So there's things we all know that we know we don't know. That leaves a huge segment of knowledge that's in our blind spot. Those are things you don't know that you don't know, okay? That is a huge amount of things. So how do you deal with that? Now, we don't need to know everything in the world, but there's things we would like to know. So how does that affect us, and how do we improve upon the things that we don't know? So there's 3 ways to expand on that. First one is the places you go, the experiences you have. When you go somewhere, you see things and learn things that you never knew before. I take right out of college, and I couldn't get a job. It was the middle of recession. A friend of mine and I, we traveled across the United States for about 4 months. I was amazed at the experiences and the people we met and those kinds and the experiences we had, and things I would have never learned had I not done that. It's things you read. I read a very, very disturbing figure today, a couple of days ago, about how few people read after they get out of high school and after they get out of college. It's really sad, because reading is one of the ways that we expand our knowledge base. And all the thoughts of the universe have been written down somewhere. And so it's great to expand our knowledge. Certainly a great way to do that. And finally, it's the people that we meet. Obviously, we all have had mentors and parents and friends and folks that we've met that have helped expand our knowledge base. So those are all important people in life. Now, that little red sliver that you see there, I think is the most dangerous. Obviously, the things we don't know can cause us problems. Is that fair? But if you don't know something, you will never act on something you don't know. But that little red sliver right there represents what I believe to be the most dangerous thing that happens to us in our circle of knowledge. And that represents the things that we know to be true that turn out not to be true. And the problem with that is that you won't act on things you don't believe, but you will only act on things that you believe. So even though it may not be true, you will still act on it if you believe it to be true. If you stood on the edge of a cliff and you believe that gravity didn't exist, that would be a rude awakening if you decided to jump on it. Fair enough? I mean, you would find out real quick that your knowledge base that your belief system was wrong. The reason I bring this up is that the 3 entities I just explained to you, the financial services industry, corporations, and the government, all tell you things that have led all of us to believe certain things about finances. And unfortunately, people tell you things that they want you to know. Fair enough? And it's from their perspective. What I'm going to tell you is that maybe all of that information isn't to your benefit. And we're going to explore some of that today.